In a previous video, I talked about the importance of using a hair dryer and or freeze spray when you're troubleshooting electronic equipment. Well, I set up a little demonstration here where I can actually show you proof positive that this technique and why it works. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to hook up my capacitor meter to this capacitor, which I know is a little bit on the bad side. And you see this bar graph here. This shows me the condition of the capacitor. The higher it goes on the scale, the better the capacitor. I'm going to take this cigarette lighter. I'm going to heat this capacitor up and watch what happens to that bar graph. You can see the warmer this capacitor gets, the higher the reading. Now, of course, that's not a fix. It's going to go back down as soon as it cools. But it shows you how a capacitor that's just on the threshold of being bad can be temporarily restored by heat, enough to verify that that is the problem. Now, on the other hand, we can take the freeze spray. We can freeze this capacitor. I got that capacitor awful hot, so it might take a few seconds, but you'll see that now that it's getting cold, the reading's starting to go back down the other way. There it goes. It's slowly dropping. So that's an extremely helpful technique. Another component that changes its value when you heat it up is a resistor. Now here I've got this resistor hooked up to this meter. It's a 43 ohm resistor. And I'm going to show you what happens when I heat up the resistor. Now it's reading 45.7, 46 ohms, 47 ohms. And we're up to 48 ohms. I don't want to get it too hot or I'll wreck it. But you can see how resistor can also change in value quite a bit. This is going to be extremely helpful when you're working on some of the new electronic devices that have these surface mounted capacitors in them, because those things, they just don't seem to last all that long. And if you can save time just by verifying that it is indeed a capacitor, it can really pay off. You can do a quick estimate that way. If you can just take a hairdryer to the back of a customer's TV and all of a sudden it comes on, that's a good indication that's probably a capacitor. Not necessarily 100% guarantee, but a good indication that if you go ahead and change a few of those caps after you've checked which ones are bad, you're probably going to get the set running.